Jerome Span. Of course, I'm here to tell you about our sponsor today. And our sponsor is, of course, and will forever be longstanding. Hey, mind you, he don't give me no money, but this is my man's. I got to hold him down. It is Swopes Athletic Recruiting and Scouting. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen, Swopes is out here trying to change lives. He's trying to help get these young athletes into college each and every week. Every day he dedicates a lot of time to this. This man has a serious passion for helping others further their education and further their lives in with a lot of great ways. They are on Facebook. Make sure you look up Swopes Athletic Recruiting and Scouting. Swopes is spelled Swopes. It is ran by Mr. Nathaniel Swopes Jr. He is the man in Houston, if y'all don't know. Yes, make sure you go check him out if you're trying to get your kid into school, or hell, if you're even a kid here that's thinking about going into school and you want to try and keep playing, keep your athletic career going, make sure you go check out Swopes Athletic Recruiting and Scouting. He is the man that is going to help you keep that dream going. So make sure you follow them on Facebook, and you can get right a hold of Mr. Swopes there. He will help you get into college and keep your dream going for continuing to play your sports. So again, people, Swopes Athletic Recruiting and Scouting. Check it out now. Help change some kid around you that you know's future, or hell, even your future.
Yeah, Enigma in the house. My man J Span, Titan Studios. It's called From the Heart. Keeping it real is what all the song's about. Never selling your soul. Always staying true to yourself. Alright, yeah. Check it out. Money, cars. What would never get you far unless you gonna spit it from the heart. Yeah, money, cars. What would never get you far unless you gonna spit it from the start. Man, money, cars. What would never get you far unless you gonna spit it from the heart.
And welcome back to your favorite weekly sports show. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is ITC Sportsball, and I am your man, Jerome Span. We are sorry we have missed you for like the past month here. We've all had stuff to do. I've had stuff that's happened. Hey, our man Mace is now a father out here, big ball and Big Daddy Mace out here. Yeah. So, yes, we've had some things that have went on since then, but let's get these intros rolling because we've got plenty to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. And, of course, we'll start with the originator of this whole ITC thing. Some of y'all know him as Pop. Some of y'all know him as the Ace. If you get into his face, he will put you in your place. Ladies and gentlemen, he is that man, Terrell Campbell.
It's good to be back. It's been way too long, and now it's time to come back right and strong.
Ooh, I like it. And, of course, we've got ITC's resident hot take spitter. He is the man who rips like Dylon spits. He is the modern-day Ali on the microphone. When he steps into your home, all your ladies is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, he is that man.
Hey, it's your boy Mace here, ready to come back. I always got the hot takes. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. And we are back. Again, we are sorry that we missed you over the month, but you guys know, as we tell you all the time, life happens. That's why you guys love us, because we actually do things so we can tell you about them. That being said, though, we did have some events going on last night that most definitely got all of our interest popping here, and we might as well get rolling with that thing that happened, Night of Champions over in Saudi Arabia. The first time, to my memory, T, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the first time that WWE has actually stuck to their story continuity and not just went crazy with what they're doing over in Saudi Arabia.
I think there's been one other time, but yeah, usually they kind of say, "Oh, we got a storyline. We're gonna forget that for the next month while we go to Saudi Arabia, and then we'll come back to it." Yeah, but last night they did the thing. They kept the storylines going, and I'm happy they did that, because there was definitely one storyline that I was waiting to see how it was going to play out, and it played out the way I thought it was going to. Although our good friend of the show, Debo, has had different thoughts than me before it happened, but we'll get into that when we get a chance.
Of course.
I think we just got lucky. I ain't even gonna hold you.
You think so?
The storylines just happen to have really big names in them. I think we just got lucky. I'm not going to sit here and act like we don't know what the Saudi show is, bro. We just got lucky. Things just lined up correctly. I mean, it happens, bro. What they say, even a trash can get a steak twice a day, bro. I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, you know, that's my thing. Even a garbage can get a steak. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is on that. But yeah, no, I think you might be right, Mace. But to the point, got to ask you, T, overall, was the show a hit or a miss for you, brother?
I'm gonna call it a near miss. And I had to say it like that because there's some things I was in favor of and some things I wasn't. Okay, let's just be honest there. Like one of my biggest things is, and mind you, I'm saying this from a place where I don't think it needs to go there, but it's going there. Is Jade Cargill becoming Queen of the Ring? And I'm not knocking Jade or anything because I know so many people in the IWC knock her. Oh, she can't work and blah blah. No, if you watch this woman, she has increased exponentially. Like I've been one of her harshest critics, but she has been increasing exponentially. But I was not a fan of her winning Queen of the Ring. I think it should have went to Asuka, somebody who was out, and you know, I would love to see Asuka versus EO.
All right, I got to challenge you on that right now because here's my issue with you saying that. If this happened with anybody else where it's like, oh, all of a sudden they just come back and in this short term they get to get this spot where they get an instant world title shot, you'd be pissed off. You're only saying that because you like Asuka. I think that is not consistent with what your approach that you have taken over years about WWE, which is you don't bring somebody back and immediately throw them into the title.
You don't bring somebody back that's been gone for years and throw them into the title picture.
Bro, she was gone for a solid year. She was literally gone for a year.
She was hurt.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Was she on TV?
I personally see the vision. I see the vision. Yam Slam with Cardi. I'm there. Hey, sign me up. I'm there for a Yam Slam with Cardi, brother. I'm here for it.
No, it's only Yam. It's only Yam Slam if you got Nikita on there too. Okay.
I don't listen, bro. Whoever, bro. Jade isn't sliding in there, and Cardi gonna be there. Whoever's in the ring with her gonna have the yams as well.
You hear him? He's spitting. Mace out here spitting right now.
Hey, bro, I see the vision. I see the vision with Yam Slam. I'm here for it.
Mace is out here spitting. Tell me you ain't here for that, T. Tell me you ain't here for it.
I mean, we all know when the holidays come up, I love me some yams, but we call them sweet potatoes around our way.
Hey, we gotta get something before the holidays, brother.
No, but
isn't it nice to have a nice little summer treat of some Yam Slam though? Ain't it?
Hey, bro, I see the vision.
I mean, NXT about to have the Great American Yam. You know, let's say, come on, you know, there's gonna be yams on the Great American Bash next week. Saturday's main event yams. You know, there's gonna be yams on there. You know, we talking like we ain't gonna see yams. You can see yams on Tuesday nights, Monday nights, Friday
but listen,
nights,
brother. I see
sometimes
the vision
on Wednesdays.
I see the vision for SummerSlam though. Mm-hmm. Jade had to get the dub because at some point there's going to be a Yam Slam takeover at SummerSlam.
I like it. See, I like where Mason's head is at. You see this? Mason's out here doing this for all of us. He's
listen, bro. I'm putting this in the universe for all of us right now. There will be a Yam Slam takeover at SummerSlam. I'm here for it. Sign me up. Beam me up, Scotty. I'm here. Let's do it.
Man said, beam me up, Scotty.
That being said, I got to ask you this, T. So you say you wanted Asuka to do that, but in fairness, you have to admit WWE has clearly been building to Jade getting a moment so they can eventually have what we all know is the triple threat of being
Jade, Rhea, and Bianca. So I mean, are you really that surprised they had to start doing this?
Are we really looking at Rhea and Bianca for Jade, or are we looking at just Bianca and Jade? I'm looking at Bianca and Jade as the match that they've been building to.
Yeah, they gonna throw all the yams in there. Did you forget Shawn Michaels is gonna be like, do you understand how much better it will be if we just add some old yams to it?
Yeah, but Shawn Michaels runs NXT. He ain't running the main roster. That's Triple H.
He has like zero creative input
with his best friend.
I mean,
that'd be like you running a wrestling company, T, and me not having no input on anything that you're doing. Come on, baby, we know that ain't happening.
Listen, bro, I'm willing to put money on it right now. Shawn Michaels was the driving force to get Cardi on SummerSlam. Are you trying to tell me my man had zero input on this? He was like, "Hey, bro, you know what would be better than Jade and Bianca? Slide Rhea in there too."
Oh, my boy Shawn. Hey, he out here he's doing it for all.
He's doing the Lord's work right now, brother.
See, I have so many. My big issue is right there is right there. You've got 3 matches that you could do before you do a triple threat with the 3 of them.
I don't care what you can do before you can do the triple threat. Just give me Yam Slam at SummerSlam.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, T, what's happening? Do you not want to have fun? Huh? You not want fun? You act like you don't have fun when you watch all 3 of these ladies wrestle.
I'm saying I want to see Bianca versus Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with seeing Jade versus Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see Jade versus Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see those before we get to that triple threat. That's what I want. Because like I say, everybody complains that, oh, they just throw triple threats out there. Oh, they just do that. Oh, they just do that. Well, why don't we, have it? Why don't we build to that so that when we have the triple threat, it makes sense? Because building up to going up, let's take a few months back. Everybody was in such a tizzy about the triple threat at Mania with Io, Rhea, and Bianca. But I'm like, that makes the most sense because Rhea's face Io, Bianca's face Io, but we never got Bianca and Rhea.
And we'll get that. So all I'm saying is,
but I'm saying when is the time going to be that we're going to get Bianca and Rhea? Because right now, if you're going to build toward a triple threat with Jade, because number one, Jade ain't facing Rhea and Bianca at SummerSlam. We know that for a fact. Okay,
no,
we already know she's going to Tiffany. She's going to Tiffany, and then we gonna see some yams come out when Naomi comes to cash in that Money in the Bank. And much respect to Big Jim. Much respect to Big Jim.
There's no lose in this for you. There's just no lose in anything you're saying. There's no lose. Like that's what I don't understand why. Like I saw how some of these people in the internet wrestling community reacted, and let me tell you, they all sounded like a bunch of incels. Okay, because me, I was like, hey, I know what this is leading to, and it was what May said, Yam Slam, baby. But in all seriousness, T, I got to ask you here. Robert here seems to agree with you, but I want to address what he's saying after that. He says, with Jade winning, does it have a chance for the rivalry between her and Naomi to really take off more? Imagine if she cashes in on Jade. How do you feel about that, T?
I mean, that's kind of where we're all kind of thinking it's going to go, unless they do what we've seen happen a couple times, where both people are down. Naomi comes, cashes in, makes it a triple threat. She pins Tiffany, and then boom, Jade gets screwed because now she has no gripe. What gripe does Jade have? She doesn't. That immediately goes right to Naomi and Tiffany. Now, granted, yes, if Naomi pins Jade, still the first person coming out of that with a real gripe is going to be Tiffany because, well, I never lost. I never got pinned. Oh, I got cashed in. So, and we know
either way, the storyline has the opportunity to just continue.
Yeah,
they have a way to organically create a rivalry, depending on who gets screwed over in this. Because, like I said, the consensus is we know Jade's cashing in at SummerSlam.
You mean Naomi?
Naomi. Whatever, bro. I'm just I got yams on the brain, brother. Leave me out. Leave me alone.
Well, plus, ever since winning Money in the Bank, Naomi has said she said who she's going after. She's never once said, oh, I'm going after EO. No, she said it's Tiffany. Well, Tiffany screwed me over from trying to win the title last year. Yeah, she's always said I'm going after Tiffany.
And like you guys said here, it's the perfect natural storyline, right? Because we already have the heat between Naomi and Jade. So now it's an easy moment, right, for them to do. Because T, I understand what you're saying, but I think this is perfectly in line with what WWE has been doing consistently, which is that they're trying to make the people that they present as faces chase the title more than they are holding the title for long periods of time, right? Because what they realized is that a lot of times what gets you more value out of these people is when they are chasing the title. I disagree with how they've handled some of it, like the Jey Uso thing. We will touch on that for sure. Disagree how they handled that. But there's also some relevance that our boy Daryl brought up to me that I will also bring to the table. But to stick to the point of what we're talking about with Jade and Naomi, it's a perfect buildup, right? Because now we know Naomi's becoming the champion at some point. We know that. Now it's the perfect moment for her. When you make it a super hard contested match between Tiffy and Jade, right? Super, super hard. Naomi comes in, gets her moment. Boom. She gets the title. She walks out of there. More than likely, I think you're right. She ends up pinning Jade in this situation, right? Because then you can naturally work Tiffy into that whole storyline and saying, I never got pinned. I got screwed in this situation, right? I'm with you there. So I think they have something, but I do want to not get caught too much on Jade and what happened there. T, I got to ask you, how did you feel about the John Cena CM Punk match? How did you feel?
I felt that it went the way we were expecting it to a little bit. Come on. Come on. Who amongst us did not see CM Punk said, "Come on," did not see Seth Rollins just coming out. You know, Seth Rollins,
Mace's man, future. Seth Rollins.
Hey, get it right, Seth freaking Rollins.
I say
Mace's man.
We have the future walking out. Okay, and I'm just gonna refer to him as the future because, like you say, they have not given a name to this group, but I saw on Raw on Monday night, Braun Breaker had the future written on his truck, so they're just gonna be called the future for all I care. Okay, but we saw them come out. What's that?
That's a whack name.
We don't approve of the future around here.
The future. Boo.
Hey,
that's all I'm saying.
Hey, until they come up with a different name, that's what we're gonna call them. Let's say, I'm gonna be like his mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. That's how I'm gonna be. I'm like Coming to America, old Jewish man. What? What?
Just go ahead, brother. I'm not gonna derail this here. Go ahead.
No, but the thing that we all are forgetting about this farewell tour for Cena, every single person he's gone up against, they have an out. The only person that didn't have a real out was really R-Truth. But now, since they brought him back, Mr. Ron Killings.
Now that's Crash Out Killings. Get it right. Call him his name. That's Crash Out Killings.
Hey, his mama called him Ron. I'm gonna call him Ron. Anyways, when you have that, but now you gave that man an out because now he has a victory over Cena by DQ. So if you look at it, you can circle back to a lot of these people. That's why Randy Orton, if I personally would have had Randy win the King of the Ring over Cody.
Why?
Because I think if we're going to do this Cena storyline, everybody is saying Cody's the guy that's going to save everything. If we're going to do this storyline,
yeah,
with John Cena being this heel and wanting to ruin wrestling and everything like that, well, he's got up until the end of the year. So are you really going to have the guy that you think is going to be that guy go up against him again and lose? Or are you going to have him? Are you going to cut the storyline short and be like, "Oh, John's got to go promote Peacemaker, so we're going to take the belt off of him"?
Well, if I'm being honest with you, I've always felt that before this ended, he was going to be back to good guy John Cena. I didn't think he was ever going to finish this run as heel John Cena. And an easy way that you make that happen is, yes, he loses the belt, he goes and does his promotion for Peacemaker, and then he comes back and finishes out as happy Captain America John Cena again. You know how this works, T. They don't want him to go out as a bad guy. They have made too much money with John Cena being a good guy for them to be like, yeah, we're gonna let you go out as a bad guy, brother. They gotta bring the story full circle. So, but I will ask. Though, the question we gotta keep moving though, because I know you'll talk about John Cena for the next half hour. But I gotta ask because I would be remiss if I didn't ask about this before we move down from wrestling, because we do still got UFC to talk about and maybe some football if we got time. But we also got basketball to talk about for sure. See, we saw Solo Sikoa finally get a championship win last night with the premiere of Hikuleo coming in and going after Jacob and putting him with the choke slam into the table and setting him up for a vicious Samoan spike from Solo Sikoa. How do you feel about everything that went down last night with that?
I told you it was happening. I told you that man.
By the way, this is Terrell's man, Solo Sikoa, I should say.
Nah, this is Jerome's man, Solo Sikoa, because over here we acknowledge the OTC, okay? But
Terrell's a solo guy.
I am a solo guy. I ain't got no wife, no kids. I'm solo. Anyways, but and this is where I said that me and Debo had a difference of opinion, because I said to Debo, we know Hikuleo is signed. We just hadn't seen him. That man's been on that roster for a year. People forget that. He's been there for a year, but we just hadn't seen him. And I told Debo, I'm just like, he's going to come and help Solo. Debo disagreed with me and said, well, no, I think he's going to help Jacob. I'm like, we had differences of opinion. But my thing is Debo's thing was, hey, he's going to come and help Jacob because, Solo has JC Mateo. And I'm just like, yeah, but it makes more sense for Hikuleo to go with Solo.
Wait a minute. Hey, Debo, you be right about a lot of wrestling stuff. What the hell were you talking about here, Debo? This was clearly he was going with Solo. Jacob, they built Jacob in a way that he don't need nobody else, so they would not give him a goon. That's crazy talk. Unless you were going to have the goon turn on him in a very short order. No, that make no sense. Go ahead, Mace. I'm sorry. You look like you had something there for me.
Man, Hikuleo, Hickadula, Hickory Dickory Doc, bro. How do y'all keep up with all these people, bro? Every time you turn around, there's another cousin coming into the league, bro. How do you keep up with this?
And mind you, in WWE, he will be referred to as Talatanga.
Exactly. See my point exactly, dog. Like,
I gotta say that is a very Vince McMahon sounding name, Talatanga. Think about that. Mm-hmm. They're literally calling this man Taller Tonga.
Yeah,
come on,
and he's 7 feet.
Like, and I got questions on if he actually 7 feet or not.
They be making people look taller than they do on TV, though. We know.
Look. Ever since I seen Gunther face to face, and I told you, Mace, you and Gunther same height. Like, y'all the same height. I don't care what they try to tell you. I've stood right there with the man. Y'all the same height. That nigga is not what they say he is.
I mean, hey, I'll be the first one to say, yeah, some wrestlers are not as tall as they build because, man, I don't know if you remember this guy from AEW, Joey Janela. I affectionately call him the man who constantly outkicks his coverage, because if you saw his last girlfriend and his current girlfriend, you'd be like, huh? But I remember meeting him at a StarCast after party. I swear I was looking down on him. I remember seeing him on the Jericho Cruise. I'm looking down on this man. But yet his girlfriend's built at 5'11". Now I'm 5'8". His girlfriend's built at 5'11". But yet the pictures I see, he must be wearing lifts in them shoes because
hey, bro,
he got a little height on it.
He pulling the freaking what's his name? Bruno Mars, where he's standing on the box.
Got to. He got to. Because because if you see Megan Bain, like I say, compared to all those other women, she is enormous. But I'll say,
hey, on some real, y'all know for years Arnold Schwarzenegger would not take pictures with people that were taller than him. He used to dip out. Like what he do is, and there's been all types of celebrities, basketball players that have said this, right? Like, yeah, you meet him, and Arnold is like Terrell's height. Okay, he is not a big guy. Okay, so when you meet him, you're like, oh, he's a little bit smaller. You want to get a picture with him, but anytime for the longest, he wouldn't take pictures with people. He would just be like, yeah, I'll do it. Then you get somebody to do it, and all of a sudden, it's like that meme where all of a sudden, dude just disappears in his background. That's Arnold right there. So
I mean, hey, famously, Tom Cruise will not be in a movie with somebody who's taller than him. Like, yeah.
Hey, he will, but they're gonna make sure they shoot him with his lifts on and at with the right box camera angle, so you don't look like you too much taller than him. You know what I mean? If he likes you, but if he don't like you, good luck. But right. I do want to touch on this here. See, Robert's over here asking us a question. What's your answer for him? He says, if not Rollins, then who dethrones Cena for the championship? My pick would be Orton, but sadly it seems that they want to push Cody to do it, and Rollins cashes in on him. Hard to call, in my opinion, is what he says there. So, how you feel?
Do you want to take Rollins in that direction? Because it seems like
I didn't want Rollins in this direction in the first place, so you talked to the wrong person there, brother.
No, because my thoughts on it are, if you take Seth Rollins towards the WWE Championship, okay, so that leaves a hole for the World Heavyweight Championship. So, and mind you, let's say, yeah, we all know Gunther's the champion, the World Heavyweight Champion. So, because Seth has been more focused on that belt. Yes, he started to show more interest, like when Punk was going for the WWE Championship, but that could have been I'm trying to screw Punk over thing. If Punk's not in the picture, then does he shift his focus back to the World Heavyweight Championship that he essentially helped reestablish into the lexicon of this company? You know, do we do that? I personally think if you're going to have if you're going to have Rollins go for a title, why not have it be the title that it's synonymous with him more so? Because when I think of the WWE Championship, I don't immediately think Seth Rollins. My brain will go to a Roman. My brain will go to Cody. My brain will go to John. And Rollins has held that belt. But when I think of the World Heavyweight Championship, especially in the incarnation that it is right now, Seth is at the top of the list. So do you want to have him go veer into a different path, or do you want him to, kind of stay the course? Either way, it's going to be interesting because with him, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman, and Bronson Reed, if you would have told me that was a group that I would see in 2025, I'd have thought somebody just decided to go to the dispensary and buy them out of stock and just have a good old time for a whole day.
I'll say this real quick. I think the WWE belt is going to go on a heel run, and after Cena, it's going to be Rollins, bro. Like, I think there has to be a bad guy with that belt for a bit, right? Because I think the WWE is seeing with Cena being a heel with the belt, how easy it is to throw people at him and everybody just eat it up like candy. Why not just continuously run with that, bro? Because if it goes back to Cody, we know what it is, bro. He's gonna dress up in his suit. He's gonna kiss babies on the forehead, bro. Like, we know what we gonna get.
May sound so done with this Cody experience.
But if we do Seth right, there's gonna be some grimy things going on. He's gonna retain the belt in some grimy ways, and everybody.
For sure.
And whether you love it or hate it, you're going to react to it.
Now let me ask you this, okay? Because
no, I'm not gonna let you ask him this because we gotta move on. No.
Real quick. What do you feel about if Cody went heel?
I don't think he will. I don't think there's a spot for him to go heel on the roster. I think the heel quota is being met right now.
Okay. Jerome?
Like I was saying, we got plenty of time to talk about Cody turning heel. Nigga, get out of here. UFC 317 was also last night, and there was an excellent card, especially the main card. I did not get to watch all of the prelims. I think I only watched one or two of them. So I did not see I didn't get to see Terrence McKinney fight, unfortunately, because I did want to see him fight, but I completely missed the start of when the prelims were. So that's on me. But there were some excellent performances last night. So, gentlemen, I got to ask you guys both there. Who was your fighter of the night there? I did make sure I hit you both up to give you some time to think. So who you got as your fighter of the night?
Mine is Joshua Van. Easy, without a doubt. There were some good fights, but being such a young kid, and normally when we see like young guys who are up and coming, and they face like a top 5 guy who just kind of smothers them with strikes, they usually kind of lose their mettle and just starts running into punches. We see it happen so often. But this kid kept his game plan, and if there was 30 more seconds on that clock, bro, he's getting a finish. Easy. Without 100%. A doubt. 100%. So yeah, I'm going Joshua Van. He went from 12 to now he's probably jumped up into the top 5 and probably is going to get a title shot.
T, who do you got as your fighter of the night?
All right. Full transparency, didn't get to see a lot of the fights last night. I was watching my nephew. Spending some time. He don't really watch that stuff. So
man, nigga, fighter of the night. Let's go, baby. Spit it out.
All right. I gotta go with the man who told the world I'm knocking him out in the first round. I'm going with Ilia Topuria because that man said he was gonna knock out Charles Oliveira in the first round, and he knocked him out. And Charles ain't an easy dude to finish.
Fellas, funny enough, right? I was up for the whole card, right? Got to the main event, got all the way through Bruce doing the introductions. They said, fight. Your boy said, woke up as this man just knocked him out.
See, so Topuria put 2 people to sleep. That's nice.
Bro, legitimately, I was so mad when I woke up because I was like, wait, what? The fight's already over? Because I'm full transparency. I've had it happen before, right? But usually a fight's still going on, right? Where maybe I fell asleep at the start, I woke up, it's 3rd round. Okay, cool. It happens. But nigga, I was like, wait, the fight's already over. I didn't get to see it. And then I saw the replay and I was like, oh, he put him to sleep. Hey, that man, to me, I agree with both of you guys' picks here. I was having a hell of a time trying to decide between the two, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think both of those picks are right, especially with Joshua Van. That was an insane performance. The fact that, like May said, that this guy never lost his cool and stood in there after that first round did not go very great for him. He managed to just rally, and Mace is completely 100% right. 30 more seconds in that round, and he has a finish. It's over with, because you saw when he finally actually connected with that hammer fist again, that boy was, I'm going to sleep.
My man, them eyes started rolling back, boy. He was like, yeah, dog, this is it. The Sandman had fucking showed up knocking on his door.
So I got to ask. We also saw Alexander Pantoja dominate again. I mean, you want to talk about an utterly dominant performance. Kai Kara France looked completely outclassed. It really, and this is no disrespect to him, it felt like it was a professional fighting an amateur. It really did. That's really the golfing class that it felt like last night with those two. I have to give him his credit. I want to ask both of you guys here, who should fight Pantoja next? I mean, he has pretty much cleared out everybody that's a real contender in that division at this point.
Honestly, at this point, man, I think Pantoja, he's going for Demetrius Johnson's record. I don't think he cares who he fights. He's just like, bro, I'm fresh. In about 4 months, give me another fight. I guarantee you he'll be fighting again in I'd probably say November. Expect him to be fighting in November, at the latest December. Because that was one-sided. Like, it doesn't matter.
And look, and I thought, honest to God, guys, going into this fight, I was like, because Kai Kara France had he seemed like he has rounded into shape now lately, right? He's improved his game. I was like, okay, maybe there'll be a little bit of a test here. This should at least go like 3 rounds, right? Man, dog, he literally beat the hell out of this man from round 1 till he got that submission in round 3. Like, and I thought it would be a fight at least, for 3 rounds. No, this was an utter dominant performance. I think
I don't know if y'all noticed when he put that rear naked choke in, bro, the panic on Kai Kara France's face, bro. Like the sheer panic in his face. Like, normally people they're pretty calm. Like, they're like, okay, I know how to work my way out of this. Let me make something happen. My man completely panicked.
And I mean, you're not wrong. It's because, like, he's one of those guys that once he's got it on you, it's over. It's over. Like, there's no, I can get up out of this. I got all this technique. Nah, it's just done, bro. It's over with. Good luck with that. I don't know who can actually fight him at that weight class right now and really give him some competition. I do not know.
Like I said, I don't see him moving up in weight class. I honest to God think he wants to go take Demetrius Johnson's record for title defenses in that weight class. And at this point, man, Dana White's just throwing meat to the wolves, bro. Like, it's
and that's what makes me wonder on if they're gonna give Van somebody like Kai Kara France before they throw him in there with Pantoja, because I know they want to protect that long-term investment with Van, right? But at some point, bro, Van's gonna have to get in there and fight that man, and I think it's gonna go real bad for him too, dog. Like, Pantoja, he is approaching that level where I'm about to call him a transcendent fighter, because I don't know how you beat him at that weight class. I don't know how. He's that effing good.
I mean, it's no legit. It's not like he's saying anything wrong. Like, that was a very one-sided fight.
And now to Ilya here, man, dog, another guy out here. How you gonna beat him? How do you beat him at this point? I thought for sure that this was finally gonna be the challenge for him, right? He's going up in weight class, right? Charles has got a little bit of height on him. He's got some length on him. Charles is a dude that's a veteran that knows how to go out there and fight against the best. And he put him to sleep. Like, he slapped him with ease. With ease, fellas. Dog, think about this for a second. In total, he put him to sleep by throwing 32 strikes.
For somebody that small to do that, that's a bit alarming for the rest of the division.
He landed 24. He threw 32.
I mean, look at the lineup of dudes he's knocked out recently, bro. Like,
it's
Volt, Max Holloway, and now Charles Oliveira. Come on, man.
So
this is video game stuff, fellas.
Yeah, but here's what I have to say. There's an expression, we all know it, we all love it. It's called "there's levels to this," right? We have seen so many top flight fighters get to that point where we're just like, okay, this is their time. and just whoever that champion is shows, no, it's still mine. And we've gotten to the point too where we've seen top level champions. We're like, yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy. And then all of a sudden, here comes that dude. Like, no, I'm the guy now. Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, hey, you're the top of the mountain, but guess what? Here comes somebody else with a different mountain that's a little higher than yours. Like, it's insane. Like, when you look at these guys, it's just like, who's gonna be that guy? Like, hey, we've got a guy that's sitting there in the heavyweight division that everybody's scared of. So scared that people retire. I mean, who's
so
going to be that guy?
That he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He was going to make John Jones retire without ever having to fight him. Yep. That's a man of his word. I became a big Aspinall fan because as soon as that happened, I was like, that nigga's a man of his word. I like that. I can respect that. He made that nigga retire without ever having to fight him. That shows how feared he is. Mm-hmm. But I will say this. I got to ask you guys, right? So we had hit a little bit of a point where recently we had even talked about this, where UFC didn't have the most stars, right? Because a lot of their heavier fighters are not necessarily transcendent fighters, right? Those guys aren't necessarily doing what some of these guys like Pantoja and Ilya are out here doing. Does the UFC kind of need to pivot how they promote things and really start promoting the smaller guys more now and really trying to make them almost in the sense of like where if WWE were to push cruiserweights more and take a little bit of a step back from the heavyweights to try and give, because the cruiserweights is what's selling for, right? The cruiserweights is where the excitement is. The heavyweights may have the name cash, right? And it's the heavyweight stuff, but these guys are actually delivering on entertainment and excitement. Should they start positioning these guys in those like prime cards? Like we know 4th of July comes up, right? UFC, around that time, UFC always has a great card like this one. They presented us this great card. Is this what they need to start doing more? Because a lot of times, man, if we're being real, these larger fighters are not delivering with the excitement.
I mean, I think it just goes to everybody. Like, I guess the casual fan, it's easier to see a heavyweight, a light heavyweight, or a middleweight going in and just going into a slugfest, right? Like, that's easier to follow. Mm-hmm. But when you have a guy like Pantoja who technically just dismantles somebody, the casual fan doesn't actually know what's going on. They don't know how amazing it is to watch him just pick him apart grappling. You know what I'm saying? So they should, but I don't think they really can, just to hold on to those casuals. Like I said, it's really hard to tell somebody that's just a casual UFC fan or a casual fight fan in general to be like, this match where they grappled and this guy just got completely dismantled and submitted by the second, third round is a lot more exciting than watching two guys at 205 get tired by the second round and just start throwing haymakers.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. I think that's fair.
I mean, let's see.
Go ahead, T. I'm sorry.
Say, Mace hit the nail on the head. It's the casuals. It's the casuals that are the ones that are kind of driving that narrative. Because, like I say, as actual fight fans, like I say, we saw Demetrius Johnson versus Henry Cejudo, and we knew the artistry and mastery of Mighty Mouse. But a casual doesn't really know until all of a sudden his name starts being brought up into, casual conversation. But I think we've all been trained, especially like growing up in the era where boxing was the biggest thing in the world. Think about it. Everybody in the world knew who the heavyweight champion in boxing was. And you had to be, as Jerome likes to put it, a transcendent fighter on any other level in any other weight class to have that same gravitas. The UFC, think about it. Look at the weight classes that we're seeing really get exposed. Like the people know the fighters. Those are the weight classes that they had the entire time that since we've been watching them. like I say, you're talking about the featherweight, bantamweight, flyweight. Those were all like 2 of those were WEC things that they brought over when they closed WEC. But the ones that we all know who the champions are, and the other big thing is there is you have, if you're going to be a champion and you're going to help promote, you got to have charisma.
Yep.
And guess what? The most charismatic champion in the UFC right now is Aspinall. Aspinall is that guy who's going to be, like I say, if he keeps on the run he's on, that's going to be the face of the UFC for the next couple of years.
I'll say this. There's really, honestly, in my opinion, right now, there's maybe 2, maybe 3 exciting fighters over 185. You got Poatan, and you got Aspinall, and then you can probably throw a third guy in there. But if we're just talking about, I have to see this guy fight, more than likely they're welterweight or smaller. I mean, who's exciting?
Disagree.
Who's exciting at 185?
Sure as hell ain't the champ.
Like I said, everybody watches Poatan because he just gonna do some smooth stuff and hit somebody with like a punch that you don't even think gonna knock somebody out is the one that just puts them to sleep.
Yeah, and we'll be back to address this. We'll talk about this when the date comes closer. But I'm just gonna say now, fellas, Amanda should stay retired. I'm gonna say it up front right now. We'll have time to talk about it. She should stay retired. That is not a woman she should want to fight. No, that's a different animal.
Bro,
No.
Kayla Harrison's shoulder muscles have shoulder muscles, dog.
Bro, look, and that's one thing that happened while we had been off, and I do just want to say this. You want to talk about somebody approaching a level of being like that has enough personality to make it happen and get to that next level? We got something there. We cooking with gas because she goes in there and performs too. So, because that is it's rare when we have the matchup of talk a lot of trash and go in there and perform. It's part of why Daryl hated Aljamain Sterling so much for so long, right? Is that, yes, Aljamain was winning on one hand, but his performances weren't actually exciting. So it was like, bruh, you can't be out here talking all this cash money if you ain't doing something exciting. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, That being said, though, we will talk about that. We got plenty to talk about. There's going to be more fights going on this year. That we got some exciting cards actually that should be coming up over the next few months. So we will most definitely be touching on those. But I got to ask here. We got to circle back here because first off, we got to give Terrell his credit here. Terrell was the person that before the playoffs started called the Indiana Pacers making the finals. He called it dead on. He told us this was going to happen. And mind you, people, you go back and look at the clip. Look at before the damn playing games even. Actually, I think it was as like all that playing stuff was happening. Terrell said it then. The Pacers were going to the finals out of the East. So big ups to him for that call. But we saw what ended up happening. The Thunder, congratulations to them on winning their first championship as a franchise. Unfortunately, it came at the expense of Tyrese Halliburton, which is what has actually brought up this whole conversation today that we're going to have, which is, gentlemen, who is your favorite in the East at this point? Because I have heard no less than 6 teams from different basketball people that I respect. So I got to ask, Mace, right here with you, who is your favorite in the East going into next year? Because we know now at this point, we probably don't see Tatum. We probably don't see Halliburton next year. Who's your favorite?
Honestly, bro, like, that's tough. Like, and not only that, we're not going to see Dame Lillard on Milwaukee.
Oh yeah. Won't see Dame. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, won't see Dame too.
I think there's going to be parity in the East, bro. It's going to be. You know what?
But who's your favorite? Right? Who's your favorite though?
I'm looking at who's going to be healthy. You know what? I'm going to say Atlanta Hawks, bro. I don't even know. at this point. I don't. Atlanta Hawks, bro. They have a healthy roster with 2 superstars. I don't know, dog.
This is why I presented this to you guys last night, because I realized how much of a challenging question this actually is, right? Which is, okay, the East is kind of open at this point. Like, it's literally, we've had times before, right, where they might say it was open, but it's really, really, really open right now. Like, it's wide open. So, you know what? We'll circle back to you, Mace. We'll circle back to you, because I know you didn't really mean
the 3 best teams all have a player they're not gonna be there. Either their best or second best player is not gonna be on the roster next season. Mm-hmm. I don't know, bro. Like I said, just chalk me up for Atlanta, bro. I don't know.
Mason's like, you know what, bro? We gonna pick a random team, and maybe we'll be right, maybe we'll be wrong. That is excellent. All right, T, who do you got as your favorite of the East for next year?
I'm gonna have to say it right now, especially, you know, with what we know. I think all roads lead through New York. Depending on who they get to come in and coach, you know, because they could end up having a Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr thing where, hey, this is the guy that taught them how to grind it out, and this is the guy that got them the championship. I think that I think the Knicks are the ones you got to look out for next year.
So for me, I think for sure it's the Knicks. They have the most balance out of the rosters of anyone else. Do I still think that it's troubling that their 2 best players don't always find easy buckets? Yes, absolutely. Especially with that 7-footer that's Mace's man's.
Don't put him on me, bro.
That's your man's, Mace. You taking Cat and you keeping him forever, bro.
No, I'm not. Don't you put that evil on me.
Hey, Robert, I mean, I'm not even mad at that, bro. I get you making that point. I get it. It could be the Sixers if Embiid's healthy, right? That is very health dependent. I think his body at this point, I'm out on the Joel Embiid thing, just to be clear, fellas. Like, I think he's done. I think
I'm going to say this right
done.
now. Joel Embiid has been Greg Oden with like 3 healthy seasons.
I don't think you're wrong. I think that's astute. Greg Oden was one of the most talented big men I've ever seen play basketball. His body failed him entirely.
Right? If we get like 3 healthy seasons out of Greg Oden, he looks like Joel Embiid.
If you watch, like, anybody that watched Greg Oden play, and I know when people go back now, they try and look, kill, the Blazers for making the pick of Oden over Durant. But if you go back at that time and you watch Greg Oden play, it was outrageous that a dude that his size could move like that and had the skill base that he had. I think a lot of people forget when you go back and watch that college season, he was playing most of the season with a broken hand. So that's insane. But for me, if I had to pick a team, like if you said, this is the team that you're going to trust, I think I'd have to go with, this is going to sound really wild, I'm going to have to go with the Pistons. I feel like they've pulled it together and they have a roster right now that they're going to catch some people slipping next year. I think this year did them a lot of good because it got them out of that being losers mindset, right? That's one of the things that is not discussed enough, I think, when it comes to the whole process bullshit. Sorry, fellas, I find myself, but it's not discussed enough. You are creating a losing culture. That is never good. And not everybody is strong enough to pull themselves out of that losing culture and get to where they need to be as a winner. I think that is going to be the story of Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz. As much as I kill Ben Simmons, I also believe that the Sixers failed him as an organization by creating a losing culture there, where being a loser and not being responsible for what's going on was okay. and that allowed things that should have been checked early to get way out of control later. So, but as far as the East goes, damn, man, it's so hard. Like it's either the Pistons or the Knicks for me. I know some people are going to be like, you're not going to give the Magic credit. I mean, not really, bro, because you traded for Desmond Bane. And I haven't watched enough of Desmond Bane to criticize him harshly. But if he was really that dope, I would have been hearing people talk about him in a way that made me go then watch him more. But like, he don't move the needle for me, fellas. I mates, I asked a young boy Quasi, right? I asked him, I said, Quasi, dog, tell me about Desmond Bane. Does he at least have the potential to become this next level? And Quasi was like, he can get better, but I don't think he's gonna be like superstar. And it's like, oh, okay, well, what the heck are we trading 4 first round picks for then? What are we doing out here?
I think the Magic were just, I think they saw the landscape of the East and was like, anybody comes in, any ready-made player that comes in helps us, right? Because
the Magic should have traded for KD.
I definitely think so, because if you look at that roster right now, all their best players are under like 25 or something like that. So there was no room for 4 other first-round picks to come in and take anybody's spot, honestly, right? So we knew they were one of the few teams that could move all their picks. I just think they chose the wrong person to go get. Like I said, KD wanted to either play in somewhere where there was no in-state income tax, so Florida, Texas, and maybe like 1 or 2 other states. But Orlando had all the keys right there to go get KD, and
that's where I think they went wrong. Go get KD, because KD is the rare basketball player that can play with anyone.
Oh yeah,
because he is literally, if you need him to be catch and shoot, he can be catch and shoot. You need him to be a spot up man, he can be spot up man. You need him to go get you a bucket, he can go get you a bucket. You know, like I think that's one thing, and I know people always want to kill Kevin Durant for what he's saying, right? For going to Golden State and they want to hit his legacy. But I'm gonna tell you something: playing with that team is not as easy as everybody thought it is. Kevin Durant is a very rare breed of a basketball player to be able to have this success level that he did, playing with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, where, hey dog, he was coming in and these boys already had an established chemistry. He had to make it work with them, and God damn, did he make it work? Oh my God, Mace, I know you're gonna go see him next year in Houston.
Oh, of course, I'm in there. I'm gonna see how big that ball spot is. I'm there. I'll report back. I'll report back.
Chill. Hey, chill, bro. Hey, that ball spot may be big, but he still be dropping them buckets, so that's all that matters. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I just would look, Kevin Durant, you one of my favorite all-time basketball players. Nigga, will you please brush your hair sometimes?
Listen, bro.
Just sometimes.
And not
even all the time, just sometimes.
I experienced a basketball game from like behind the goal, and I will tell you, it is a lot better than people think it is. You know, people like kind of think those behind the goal seats are kind of like, if you're close enough to the court, it don't matter. Those seats are elite.
You ain't lying. That being said, Mace, tell the people where to find you.
You know, man, Twitter, funky_Steph09, Twitch, twitch.tv/swaggymace. Hit your boy up.
T, tell the people where to find you.
Y'all can find me on The Real Trey Camp on Twitter, and you can also find me at tcampbell_ITC on IG.
At James Spanderman everywhere. You can see my pretty face with the ITC logo. Make sure you like, subscribe, and rate us, review us. You only give us 4 stars instead of giving us 5 stars. I'm inclined to think that you are a hater. You don't want me to think that because I'm a really nice guy. And when I see you, I'm going to call you out on you. Okay. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you coming in and spending a little bit of your Sunday with us again. Hey, we will most definitely see you for college football 26, Robert. Hey, we excited to have you, brother. We appreciate you coming in with us. But yes, we will see you guys next week on your favorite weekly sports show, and that is ITC.
Sportsball.
Sportsball. God, we are so off.
We have to be off at this point, bro. We have to. If we're ever on time, I need y'all to come check on us because we ain't. It ain't us. If we're ever on time with that, bro, we've been exchanged for lizard people.